Dave Portnoy went off on Dijonai Carrington for her dirty hit on Caitlin Clark. There is no denying that Caitlin Clark has had one of the greatest rookie seasons of all time. In fact, you can easily say that Caitlin's rookie season was the best ever. It's precisely because of her incredible play recently that many people were excited to see the Fever in the playoffs, and that's a testament to what Caitlin has achieved. Just last year, Indiana was one of the worst teams in the league, and now people were picking them to upset the Connecticut Sun in the first round. However, things couldn't have gone worse for Caitlin and her squad, and part of that might have to do with the dirty hit Caitlin received early in the game, causing many fans, including Dave Portnoy, to go off on social media. By the end of this video, you'll see why Dave Portnoy went ballistic on Dijonai Carrington. The Fever versus the Sun was highly anticipated. Everyone wanted to see how the rookie sensation, Caitlin Clark, would perform under the bright lights. However, controversy marred the game from the very beginning. During the Indiana Fever's Game 1 in the best-of-3 first-round series against the Connecticut Sun, Caitlin Clark was left with a black eye thanks to Dijonai Carrington. She poked the unanimous Rookie of the Year winner in the right eye. Moreover, the foul went uncalled, despite Clark falling to the ground in obvious pain.
Could have been a personal foul.
You see the poke in the eye and one of the areas.
Ouch. That looked incredibly painful. If you're a MMA fan, then you'll know that there have been plenty of fights called off after a fighter gets poked in the eye. The pain is supposed to be unbearable. After Caitlin was hit in the eye, she briefly joined the bench when the Indiana Fever called a timeout. Despite the pain, she chose to continue playing. Though she dished out 8 assists in her 36 minutes on the court, it wasn't good enough as the Suns beat the Fever badly. Fans were furious as they labeled Carrington's move an intentional one. Barstool Sports founder Dave Portnoy also joined the thousands on social media in bashing the WNBA. He wrote on X, "Why does the WNBA let players wear gigantic nails if they use them as weapons? We're lucky CC didn't lose an eye here. Reminder, no foul called, and Caitlin played with one eye the rest of game and had her worst shooting performance in months after this." He does have a point. Having long nails seems to be incredibly dangerous when you're constantly swiping at your opponents or trying to block their shots. This isn't the first time Portnoy has come to Caitlin's defense either. When Angel Reese famously taunted Caitlin after beating her in college, Portnoy made sure everyone knew where he stood on the matter.
The game was over, doing this to her, doing this. Find me one example in any sport of anybody after somebody wins a championship, confetti coming down, not in a close game, and find me a player stalking the best player on the other team. It does not exist. It does not happen. If a man did that, he would be called classless, and nobody would be saying it.
Going back to the game, it seems as if the eye poke was a big reason why Caitlin had one of her worst shooting nights since she joined the WNBA. She only shot 23.5% or 4 of 17 from the field, including 2 of 11 from 3. Furthermore, the Fever got thumped by Connecticut 93-69. Kelsey Mitchell's 21 points and Aaliyah Boston's 11 rebounds were the only silver linings on a disappointing night. However, in the post-game press conference, she did not blame Dijonai Carrington's dirty move for her failure.
Obviously got me pretty good in the eye. I don't think it affected me. Honestly, I felt like I got good shots. They just didn't go down, and obviously a tough time for that to happen. I got some really good looks. I felt I had three wide open threes in the first half that like you usually make. So that's tough. We were right there, and I felt like we just played a crappy game. Like the flow of the game was really bad.
Although Caitlin might not blame Carrington, fans were quick to point out that she has dealt with several WNBA players hitting her with dirty moves. Many fans believe that Carrington poked Caitlin on purpose because she clearly bends her fingers and swipes down on Caitlin's face. That's not how you block a shot. That's why some are even calling for Carrington to be suspended. However, don't hold your breath for that one. All season long, Caitlin has had to deal with bullies and cheap shots. She had a nasty run-in with Dijonai Carrington, who took a cheap shot at Caitlin when she wasn't looking. Dijonai Carrington seemingly shoulder tackled her for no good reason.
A foul which was called. The question is, will they call it unnecessary? Dijonai Carrington, they called it away from the ball foul because it happened prior to the inbound. So then anybody can shoot the free throw.
Afterward, Dijonai refused to make any comments about Caitlin. This incident was so bad that you had guys like Shannon Sharpe calling out the WNBA players for targeting Caitlin.
That's not basketball. Angel Reese getting tangled up. Yeah. Angel Reese trying to block her out and she hip checks it to the ground. Yes, that's basketball. That's bull jive. That's bush league. Yeah. Now, you woman enough to check the woman and she ain't got the ball, but you ain't woman enough to answer questions?
In the NBA, players also get targeted, but it's in a more friendlier manner. For example, a lot of young rookies want to dunk on LeBron James because that would be an awesome highlight clip for them. Or when Wemby came into the league, everyone wanted to dunk on his because it would be great, but no one really goes out of their way to harm or injure another player. It has been so strange to see the women's reaction toward Caitlin, who seems to be simply playing the game and not doing anything extra. What's weird is that another Sky player, Angel Reese, also had a nasty incident with Caitlin in one of their games. Reese was coming from behind while teammate Isabel Harrison was also going for the ball. The former LSU star seemed to attempt a block but hit Clark's head instead. Officials originally called it a personal foul, and after a review, they upgraded it to a flagrant one. This type of thing does happen a lot in basketball because it is a physical sport. However, with it being Caitlin, many believe that Angel crossed the line and purposely struck her. Reese, on the other hand, believes she did nothing wrong.
Can you kind of, from the flagrant, did you feel like that?
The basketball play.
Yeah. Did you feel like that was the appropriate call or?
It's a basketball play. I can't control the refs. They affected the game obviously a lot tonight. So.
But it did look in it, but like you were going for the ball.
I mean, I'm always going for the ball. But y'all gonna play that clip for what, 20 times before Monday?
In her post-game interview, you could tell she was frustrated by the way the media portrayed Caitlin. On top of that, she really had an issue with the referees, who seemed to be favoring Caitlin. In reality, it has been the opposite. Another was when, with 3:52 seconds left on the clock in the fourth quarter and the Fever holding a 96-71 advantage, Caitlin got a pass off a steal from Aaliyah Boston. As she took off for the fast break, DeShields went after her, lowered her shoulder, and cracked Caitlin.
Here's Clark for 29 points, gets tripped up. I want to welcome in our Ion audience who are watching Minnesota and Dallas. Indiana Fever in the Chicago Sky here from Wintrust Arena. The Fever have really stretched out this one.
DeShields was issued a flagrant 1 foul for that action. What's interesting is Caitlin's reaction to the foul. She wasn't having any of DeShields' fake helping hand. The reason was that Caitlin was on the receiving end of 2 flagrants, one from Michaela Onyenware on a reckless closeout, and the other, which will receive far more attention, on a shoulder check from DeShields. Clearly, Caitlin understood these girls were targeting her and trying to get into her head. So, instead of letting her emotions get the best of her, she simply got back to her feet, collected herself, and continued dominating the game. She wasn't going to let her bullies get the best of her. It does seem like whenever Caitlin is tested, she performs out of this world. After averaging 24.0 points, 8.5 assists, and 5.2 rebounds per game in August, Caitlin was named the Rookie of the Month for the 3rd time, and August's Eastern Conference Player of the Month. With this honor, Clark became the first rookie in WNBA history to earn the Player of the Month award. On September 4th, the Fever beat the Los Angeles in a 93-86 win, with Clark posting 24 points, 10 rebounds, and 10 assists, marking her 2nd career triple-double. During this game, she registered her 100th three-pointer made, making her the first to achieve in a rookie season and the fastest player in WNBA history to do so. It took her just 34 games. It was also Clark's 3rd straight game with at least 20 points and 10 assists, equaling Courtney Vandersloot's streak from 2017 as the longest in WNBA history. Caitlin finished the regular season with a stunning 321 assists, surpassing Alyssa Thomas to become the league's assist leader. The achievement silenced any skepticism, with Clark showing that her talent is as undeniable as it is remarkable. Her performance marked another historic milestone in her budding career, proving once again that no lights are too bright for her. We're sure Caitlin didn't think she would easily walk into the playoffs and dominate. Besides, once Caitlin sees how blatant the foul really was, maybe it'll light a fire under her, and the whole ordeal might come back to bite Carrington and the Suns next season.